Since I've joined this church, I have been on the committee for shared ministry. I currently... Is it working now? Oh, all right. Okay, now we're cooking. Okay. Let's. Okay, yay. All right. Since I have joined this church, I've been on the committee for shared ministry. I am currently serving on the Trust Fund of Endowments. If you don't know what that is, please ask me. I would love to tell you about it. I also am a member of our wonderful choir, and I love making music with our good friends Jaime and Susan, and all choir members, and sometimes I make music with my husband. When I'm not here in church, I spend a lot of my time out in nature, finding my peace there, watching birds. That's my latest passion. Our faith is all-inclusive, and all means all. We strive to enact a universal love that binds us in mutual care and affection, especially in our work for justice for our planet and all its people. We recognize that San Antonio is located in the homeland of the Cualtecon people, Yanajuana. 200 tribes, bands, and clans are documented in historical records dating back 8,000 years. Their descendants are knowledge keepers of this area. Do we have any visitors today? We invite you to, those of you who are visiting, to please stand so that we can see you and greet you. You're welcome here. If you're interested in becoming a member of this community, please ask any member or staff. Any of us can help you join the community. We have a membership book that you sign, and we also ask that you make an annual contribution to help fund the ministry. If you are new to us or visiting for the first time today, we welcome you to fill out a yellow visitor's card. Looks like this, should be in your pew. We'd like to get to know you and to follow up with you. Wherever you are in your life's journey, we hope you will find your place with us. In case you're wondering, we've roped off the last 2 pews for anyone who needs a seat quickly. Thank you. And another quick announcement. Today is the last day to take home the treasures in the Fellowship Hall meeting space after the service. All the items are free, but you can't have the piano, the tables and chairs. Not only are they not free, they're not for sale. But everything else must go. Now, I invite you to turn and greet those around you and extend a warm welcome to one another.
Good morning. You may notice I'm not Dr. XK.
Well, we're glad to see you.
But I'm back. So my name is Tim Versteeg. It is my great pleasure to be the Director of Lifespan Religious Education at this church. My pronouns are he, him. Our opening words today come from James Weldon Johnston, who distinguished himself as a man of letters and a civil rights leader in the early decades of the 20th century. He was a talented poet and novelist, and he brought a high standard of artistry and realism to black literature in such works as God's Trombones and the autobiography of an ex-colored man. He was a major contributor to the Harlem Renaissance. And this is an excerpted reading called A Poet to His Baby Son. Tiny bit of humanity, blessed with your mother's face and cursed with your father's mind. I say cursed with your father's mind because you can lie so long and so quietly on your back, playing with the dimpled big toe of your left foot and looking away through the ceiling of the room and beyond. Can it be that already you are thinking of being a poet? Why don't you kick and howl and make the neighbors talk about that damn baby next door? And make up your mind forthwith to grow up and be a banker or a politician or some other sort of go-getter or whatever you decide upon. Rid yourself of those insipid thoughts about being a poet. My son, this is no time nor place for a poet. Grow up and join the big, busy crowd that scrambles for what it thinks it wants out of this old world, which is, as it is, and probably always will be. Take the advice of a father who knows. You cannot begin too young not to be a poet. And our opening hymn, if you care to stand in body or spirit, I Seek the Spirit of a Child, number 338. This is not. Our chalice lighting words. We light our chalice in acknowledgement of our dependence upon families and children. Today we will dedicate children to the care of this congregation, and may we all live into our responsibility and covenant with their families to help these beloveds grow up in love, compassion, and tenderness. Amen.
We are called as Unitarian Universalists to build the beloved community where all are welcome as blessings. Let's recite our covenant that articulates our promises and binds us together. Please read together. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. And in Spanish, es la doctrina de esta iglesia, su sacramento es la búsqueda de la verdad y su oración es el servicio. Convivir en paz, buscar sabiduría en libertad, dar a la humanidad nuestro servicio fraternal, para que todas las almas crezcan en armonía con la divinidad. Así pactamos el uno con el otro.
This song is by Emma's Revolution, which is a group that has been running in UU circles and other social justice circles for at least 15 years. If you like the music, you can look them up. And it's real easy to sing along to parts of this one, especially if you feel like in these times you won't give up and you won't give in. So feel free to join us. I need some change. that's real.
I need some peace that's real. I need some change that's real.
So now is the time for our stone ceremony, which we've recently inaugurated here. Stones, like candlelight, thank you, are timeless. They are solid, enduring, and grounding, and each stone we hold represents our individual strength, our shared foundation, and the lasting impact we have on each other. For the ceremony, we invite you to pick up a glass stone, hold it, feel its surface, and say a prayer or reflection, and then release it into the water, or if you like, to take it as a keepsake. reading from our community book of life and pastoral meditation. I think this first one's for Aaron Lowe, but the person didn't sign it. I love you so much, Mom. You made me so happy, and I appreciate you so much. Have a wonderful birthday. Yeah, I think that deserves a clap. We're excited to report that the installation of the new heat pump in the Fellowship Hall has been completed and is now operational. We're extremely grateful to Gail Reichart, who generously donated the funds to make this happen. Keeping all our federal service employees, veterans, and park rangers in mind as their lives are disrupted and in limbo. And I am glad to make it for my second service from David Fegans. Welcome. And we hold each other in our hearts for those joys and sorrows which may yet be too tender to share. So it is time for our story wisdom segment. If I can get my friends to join me up here, we'll just roll away the stones here. Come on down. I can't read a story to myself. Well, I could, but it wouldn't be as fun. So today we are welcoming a number of kids into our congregation and doing what's called the child dedication. And we're talking a lot about community. And so today we're reading a story called I Am We, which is a book of community. All right. Yeah, if you can't see it here, you can look up there. I know it is important to take care of me, to focus on my own breath, my own needs, and be kind to my mind. Sometimes I wonder, is that selfish? How does caring for myself help anyone else? But then I realize that the better I feel inside, the more I can be there for others. My friends, my family, my community, because I do not exist alone. I am part of something bigger than myself. And when we each take the goodness and self-compassion inside and to turn it outward, that's how we make progress and change. How we build, create, learn, and show love. How we care for each other affects the world. I am more than me. I am we. When there are challenges and struggles, I can check on you. You can check on me. We can create a safety net so no one falls. When there is hurtfulness and inequity, we can stand up for each other. We can sit, gather, march, sing, vote, stronger in numbers, louder in voices, as we all call for justice. And when there are differences in thoughts and opinions, we can start a conversation, listening, disagreeing, and agreeing with gentleness, finding the right solution for all of us. And when there is shyness and a feeling of not belonging, we can be the welcoming committee, interested and thoughtful, making sure there is a place for everyone. And when there are problems to be solved with creativity, I can share my talents and you can share yours, and we combine our skills and ideas to dream up something spectacular. That's a good word, eh? Spectacular. Spectacular.
Or
Cat-tacular? No, that's a good word too. When there are good times, successes, and joy, we can celebrate, show our excitement and pride, and encourage each other to keep on rising. Connection is how I grow. Connection is how we grow. Connected is what we are, part of a worldwide community, diverse and magnificent, kind and accepting, supportive and present, all of us important, none of us alone. I am not just me. I am we. And if we put our hearts and our heads together, if we keep on caring for ourselves and each other, everything is possible. And that is the end of our story. Now this morning, I want you to go back and sit with your parents, because in a few minutes we're going to have some of the kids come up to get their child dedication done. And then once the child dedication's done, you can go to the playground. But we got to go through child dedication first. So, when I was baptized, it was in the United Church of Canada, and that was a day where I was baptized and confirmed on the same day in 1982. Now, the United Church in Canada is a combination of Methodist and Congregational Union in Canada and the Presbyterian Church of Canada that all came together in about 1925. Now, it was unusual that I had reached my teens without ever being baptized. And out of a group of about 10 young people at that confirmation service, I was the only one who had to be baptized before I got confirmed. It was also an anomaly in my own family, as my older brother, who's here today, give a wave, Rick, and my older sister had both been baptized as infants. Now, I don't think my parents thought that this was just a case of let's leave the third one to Satan, you know. But it did indicate a change in their attitude towards the practices of the denomination that they ostensibly belonged to. And I say ostensibly because the first time I remember my parents ever attending a church service was the same day that I was confirmed. In the years that followed, I can count the times I saw them in a church on one hand, including my own wedding in a Catholic church in 1991, when my mother asked if women were still expected to wear hats when they went to church, because she remembered that from her Anglican, which you would call Episcopalian, upbringing in New Zealand. But why am I talking about baptism in a Universalist Unitarian church? UUs do not baptize, children or adults for that matter. Because in Unitarian Universalism, we have abandoned the idea of original sin and limitarian ideas of who is worthy of salvation. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, the perceived needs for ceremonies of baptism to cleanse souls of children or other ages is not practiced. However, the welcoming of children, whether recently born or new to our faith tradition, remains an important part of our congregational life. At child dedication ceremonies like we are having this morning, we promise as a congregation to welcome each of these children into our communities and to love, support, and encourage their growth and development as spiritual and physical beings. This embracing of new ceremonies speaks to a certain audacity that runs through our UU identity and practices. Not a reckless or senseless foolhardiness, but rather an audacity born of our history of heresies, our bold and daring willingness to run counter to conventional Christian thought as our faith adapted and grew. Thinking about our child dedications, it occurred to me that what we are really offering our children is linked to the idea of grace. In the traditional Christian sense, grace was God's favor, a share in the divine life of God, a gift which was generous, free, totally unexpected, and undeserved. That cannot be earned. Yet here in Unitarian Universalism, we follow our heretical origins by rethinking the source of grace. What in traditional Christianity is a spontaneous gift from God, UUs have reinterpreted as something that streams not from God, but is offered freely to and from each other. The power of child dedications in our church and our faith is that they offer 360 degrees of grace. An audacious grace that flows in all directions, from every member of the congregation to every child being dedicated. For the divine is in each of us and flows from each of us freely. This is also why there's no prescriptive litany for child dedication ceremonies, but there are models and practices which are used and adapted. And ceremonies always include recognition of the names each child has been given, a commitment from the parents, and a promise by the congregation to support the parents and children in their spiritual growth and journeys. Ministers and DREs will usually present covenantal statements as well, but there are a variety of words and ways we welcome children in these ceremonies. It also means there's no prescriptive age of children participating in the ceremony, which is someone who was baptized at 13, I appreciate. Some may be infants who were born when their parents were already members of the church. Some may be children of newer members who are being welcomed and dedicated today as part of our community. And today, after our ceremony, for each of the children, we have a thornless rose. And these roses represent the beauty and wonder that each child brings to our congregational life. Because we covenant to help nurture and guide their development and keep them safe in the world. We remove the thorns. Years from now, as each child explores their unique journey in our coming of age program and mark that rite of passage, they receive a second rose with thorns. And that represents that in each life there will be challenges and thorny times, but that we are now confident as a community that the support and nurturing of this church has provided them and allows them to meet these challenges and be resilient in the face of those adversities. So may each of the children that are being dedicated here have a spiritual home which fosters a deep sense of belonging in the days and years to come, with grace flowing to and from them a full 360 degrees in church life. So, as I call each of the children's names, would they and their parent or parents please come up and line up across the front? Rose Charakar, Tiberius Robert Frey, Lucas Raiden Garza and Jesse Ramiro Garza, Shiloh Cole McLaughlin, Brenna Rose McLaughlin, Zara Grace McLaughlin, Miles Avery Smart, Ellen Cade Smart, and Anna Louise Smart. Thank you. So, the charge from me is, as the Director of Lifespan Learning, I covenant to care for and support each child's honest and responsible search for truth and meaning, which is the core of religious education in Unitarian Universalism, and to always keep love at the center of this learning. As part of the professional staff, I promise to help provide a spiritual home for these families, supporting those journeys of faith and searches for meaning providing counsel for each family as their children grow and develop. Parents, do you covenant to participate in the spiritual life and ongoing growth and learning of the church and support your children to do the same? If so, please say, we do. I invite the congregation to read the words on the screen. There they are. We, the congregation, and now parents, if you will read your part.
Aspiring to live each day according to the shared values
congratulations and welcome to all the children and families. And for each of the children, we have the Thornless Rose, and we also have a certificate of your participation today. So Valerie's going to help me hand those out. And Rose, I think you're right on the top. You are. There you go. Tiberius. Lucas. Jesse. Back over here. Shiloh. I'm going to give that to Mom. Miranda. Zara. Miles. Ellen. Anna. There you go. Okay, how about a big round of applause for everybody? And now we can do our children's recessional, and for those of you who are going to play in the playground, you may go and meet Absty and Halen at the back.
This reading is an excerpt of an interview with the actor Denzel Washington that was published in the New York Times, the Sunday New York Times magazine, just last Sunday, February 16th. It's a dialogue between the interviewer, David Marquise, and Denzel Washington himself. I will do my best to indicate who is speaking when. David Marquise. At the end of our conversation, I asked if there was anything I could reflect on before we spoke again, and you told me this little parable. But where did you learn that sometimes you've just got to jump in the water? Denzel Washington. Well, I've tried everything else. I was reading Matthew today, and he talks about the seed, and if you put it in the rocky soil, it won't grow, and all those things. You have to have faith that it will grow. You can't even figure out how it grows, or why it grows, or where the sun comes from. Here's what I mean. Man tries to reduce everything down to his understanding, which is the ultimate ego. If I don't understand it, it doesn't exist. Some people don't understand the divine, so some say, therefore, it doesn't exist. Or they may say, I'm God, because that's what they need. Well, how's that working out? Marquise, you said everything now is through the lens of what the divine thinks. How does acting fit into that? Washington, that's why you pray every day. I'm like, okay, Spirit of Life, I'm here. I think this is what you wanted me to do. Now, I'm not sure why, but one can say coincidence and serendipity and all those things. I bit my tongue almost half off a few months ago. It's affecting my speech. It forces me to slow down. I have to use it. I have a line, whither will you that I go to answer this your charge? It's hard because my tongue is swollen. It has affected everything. Marquise, but you've got to use it. Washington, jump in the water and enjoy yourself instead of worrying about drowning.
So Reverend Dr. XK unfortunately was not able to be with us today because he has been feeling under the weather, but he has asked me to read his homily for today. And this is Glow Up Your Soul, Self-Care Hacks for the Heart and Mind. And as I say, it was written by Dr. XK. This space feels like refuge and resistance. Many arrive carrying the weight of a new reality. We see climate policy rolled back, freedoms under attack, LGBTQ marches, rights taken, and people living in fear. For this community, these are not vague concerns, but direct challenges to our shared values. The federal lawsuit filed by 27 religious groups, including Unitarian Universalists, proves that you are not alone. After reading David Marchez's New York Times Magazine interview with Denzel Washington, I refreshed my memory on how to manage this moment in history. Find something new to do. The Times considers Washington, who's 70, the greatest actor of the 21st century. Though he earned 10 Academy Award nominations and 2 wins, he just found his purpose in life. He must help others. He described visiting the church in Harlem where his mother grew up. The door was cracked, so he walked in and found people celebrating kids preparing for college. That began his glow up. Imagine how it happened. He enters thinking he'll refresh his childhood memories, but finds a gathering. He sees the 16 to 18-year-old graduates, their subtle smiles, but also their trepidation of leaving home for the first time and fear of the unknown lurking behind their bright eyes. As an accomplished actor, he's a master of reading faces and body language. He spies a young man standing off from the crowd, semi-detached, staring at the floor, his forehead wrinkled. Half listening, he's likely contemplating leaving his mom and siblings behind. He's worried what will become of them. Washington knows this feeling. He was a college dropout. A wealthier kid wouldn't have such worries. He'd been garnering attention from the adults with his confidence. Washington can't resist approaching the kid standing alone. As he stands next to him, the sanctuary turns stone cold quiet. They can't believe who's in their midst. Washington unexpectedly buried himself into that ministry. This experience is his opportunity to listen to the divine and not his ego. He needs to find out what the Spirit needs him to do in this moment. He is listening. For Washington, this listening is new, something he feels compelled to do, even though he doesn't understand the details. He's motivated by those teens who need his wisdom, experience, and care. They need his time, his most precious asset. If he trusts in his inner wisdom, he'll be fine. Washington entered the sanctuary trying to reconnect with his past. He and Marchez discussed planting seeds, which he was studying in the book of Matthew. I've been reflecting on seeds and soil, Dr. XK writes, how change happens in ways we cannot fully comprehend. There's something profoundly humbling about watching a seed transform. We cannot see the cellular division. We cannot witness the moment dormancy shifts to life. We trust in processes beyond our full understanding. Glow Up became a thing in 2013 when Chicago rapper Chief Keef's song got a glow up one day. He made a play on the words grow up and glow, which signal a newfound sense of confidence or look. I argue that to glow up our lives in this moment means recognizing how our wisdom lights our current darkness. We must create spaces where our stories aren't simply tolerated, but treasured. It means claiming the pain of seeing hard-won progress threatened and drawing upon our personal resilience. The emotional toil is real. I see it in your tightened shoulders. I hear it in cracking faces in the community book of life, voices in the community book of life. I feel it in my chest when reading the morning paper. After working decades for progress, watching regression reveals personal grief. Some among us have lived through McCarthy, Nixon, and other waves of backlash. They've felt this heartache before. They've seen hard-won change threatened or undone. This is where the true glow-up happens, not in denying reality, but in transforming how we relate to it. You have a choice in the current news cycle. You can install guardrails between you and NPR and CNN and Fox News or MSNBC. What if you used that time to plant seeds? Learn something new, make new friends, watch new stuff on TV, create a YouTube or an IG channel. XK says he's learned to write songs. This is not a call to bury your head in the cloud. This moment invites you to listen to your soul. Like Washington, let go of your ego. You already know the deep truth about patience and faith. Your view must stretch beyond 4-year election cycles. Kids in future generations depend on you. There is a lot of chatter about the generational divide in this community. The elders don't know the parents raising kids and vice versa, and the kids don't know the elders. And people often point out our divided sanctuary with young people often sitting on one side and the elders on the other. And maybe now's the time to cross those aisles. I charge you to reconnect with our community's past. There was a time when the elders knew the kids and vice versa. There was a time when the elders and not the kids' mothers taught RE. And what better time now to reconnect and do something new than after dedicating the beautiful children we did this morning? What better time now than when we have, okay, he wrote this, when we have a dynamic and capable DLRE. Just wanted to make that clear. What better time now when the world swirling around us is calling us to help someone? I see a cracked door waiting for you to come inside and look around. I invite you to jump in and glow up. Amen, and may it be so. Now is the time for the morning offering. Yay! There we go. The offering will be given and received, and we thank you for your time, talent, and treasure. Thank you for giving as generously as you are able and giving of your time, talent, and treasure that make this beloved community the one we want it to aspire to be. Our closing hymn is number 1002, Comfort Me, Please Rise in Body or Spirit. Oh, it's in the teal hymnal. Could you extinguish the chalice for us, Emilia? Thank you. So our chalice, closing words from Xzavier Zamora. I dreamt I lost a child, the second one. I woke up, I walked to their hammock, the wood on the stove crackled, the pot didn't move, the chicken pee-pewed. They were not in their hammock. I woke up again, this time with a scream. I pinched myself, slapped my face awake. The children's eyes like my eyes without a light in them. It wasn't the empty pot, the last chicken, the hammock patched with pieces of cardboard. It wasn't the dream I wanted to wake up from this. My friends, keep your heads up and your hearts open. Go in peace, serve the world, and share the good news of Unitarian Universalism. Amen.